In this video we have a very important step that many people get wrong, and then they are blaming the gun because of accuracy issues. And it all comes from one simple misalignment, which is the scope. If you don't put it on correctly, you will be tilting the gun and then your BB will fly to one side or the other depending to where it's tilted. Now, there are tools to actually do this, but I do realize that not everybody has like a gunsmithing workshop at home, so we will do it the simple, easy way that you can do at home without any tools, and you will get a decently accurate result. Alright, let's get started. Here we have the rifle scope set Mark II, which is probably your best pick when it comes to this price point of scopes. It's really high quality. I shot it with a 308 real steel replica, so it's durable. And the image, when you look through it, it just looks amazing, and the field of view is also great. So let's put this one on. I'm gonna first unpack it and prep it with the scope rings, and then we will move on to putting it on the replica and making sure that it's aligned. Once you get rid of all the packaging, this is what you're left with: the scopes, the rings, and a tool to do that. And here I have additional thing which I like to put on, and that is the scope extender. It makes the whole thing look way cooler, bigger, and also this one, the honeycomb or the kill flash. This combo will get rid of the potential scope reflections that can give away your position. If you aim at somebody and the light hits it in the correct angle, you will be a big target, exactly like in Battlefield 6 or other games. When you have a sniper, he aims at you, you can instantly see the shine. This is what gets rid of it in real world scenario. All right, let's get started with the scopes. Now I'm gonna undo all of the screws, so we will skip because that takes a little bit of time. All right, I have all of the screws removed, and now important part, don't put the scope in just yet. We want to have it mounted on the rifle. Actually, I found this is just way better because it aligns them together, and also we can have the correct distance right away for the Picatinny. If you would first tighten it on there, it can happen that you just cannot put it on. You have to untighten it again and then change the distance. This is just way better. Pay attention to the screws. Have them on the left side if your charging handle is on the right, because if you would have them on the other side, it could happen that here it will get in the way. It's just better if it's out of the way. If you are a lefty, change them to the other side. All right, we have them nice and tight, and now we can put the scope on just like that. Make sure that it's in the middle, it's not too far forward, just nicely in the middle, and we can proceed to tightening it. Now I'm gonna put all the screws back, but I'm not gonna tighten them fully. So let's skip to the part so you don't have to watch me screwing everything in. All right, now I have all the screws back, and I tighten them very, very slightly, so I am still able to rotate the scope and move it a little back and forth. This is exactly what you want. And now comes the very important part, and that is making sure that the reticle is perfectly straight. Now, normally, what you would do is you would make sure that the gun is leveled with a bubble level, which you could maybe put on the Picatinny, and you would put another bubble level here, or you would use some fancy gunsmithing tools. Now, we don't have all the tools, we are airsoft players, and we just want to get it to good enough. So this is what you can do. Because the SSG11 has a flat surface here, and assuming your table is flat, we can just place it like this, and now it's perfectly leveled. Vertical, horizontal, however we want to look at it, it's just straight if your table is straight. Now what we can do is, I have a door frame right over there, and assuming the builders built the house correctly, that door frame is also straight. So now I'm gonna look through the scope, and I'm gonna actually align the reticle, the vertical line, with the door frame, and I'm gonna show you a picture how it looks from my perspective. And then we know that the reticle or the scope is perfectly aligned with the rifle itself, and that's not gonna force you to tilt it left or right, because if you would have it crooked, then you would subconsciously adjust for it, which is not what we want. That would introduce a drift to the left or to the right. So I'm gonna keep it flat on the table. I'm gonna look at the door frame and I'm just gonna tilt the scope until it's leveled perfectly. All right, I got it. Now I'm gonna take a screwdriver, I'm gonna torque it down and double check if it's still leveled. All right, I took a couple of pictures which you can see on the video. It wasn't that easy, so it's not like perfect, but you get the point. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tighten the screws in a cross pattern. So I start with this one a little bit, then I tighten this one a little bit, move on to the next, and I'm gonna just keep doing this until it's fully tightened. And now this one, if you do it like so, it will make sure that the thing is getting pushed down straight. It's not gonna be like too tight on one side and too loose on the other side, potentially tilting the scope again. We don't want that. So just go like this multiple times, make sure that it's just straight and all of the screws are tight. Sometimes when you tighten one, the other one gets a little loose. So here we go. All right, now we double check whether it's still aligned with the door frame, and it is perfectly aligned. All right, that's it. We have the scope tightened. Now we are adding the scope extender with the kill flash, which in my opinion makes it look better, but I will leave that up to you. Now we can be sure that we are not subconsciously tilting the rifle because the scope is not aligned. Now, if you have all the tools to do it properly, you want to use bubble level, there is nothing wrong with that. It's actually the more proper way to do it, but I wanted to show you this way to get it 99% there.